Tencent has finally responded to Sony for the lawsuit for the game Light of Motiram, which Sony claims copyright infringement and is seeking $150,000 per element or infringement. So, just an update, since the lawsuit was filed in July, in a few days after, Tencent has made some changes to the game description and art in an article by the Game Post. Let's go through it. Sony, after Horizon knockoff lawsuit against Tencent, Light of Motiram, developer scrubs store page, changing game descriptions, images, and key art. What changed? Here's where things get interesting. We've just spotted that Tencent quietly updated its Steam page to tone down the Horizon vibes. Earlier today, the developer pushed a series of updates to the game's official Steam page, where it made a noticeable set of changes to how the game is presented. These tweaks included rewriting the game's description, swiping out multiple screenshots, changing the key art, and adding a release window. Originally, the old store description leaned heavily into the language that merged Horizon's themes. In a world overrun by colossal machines, explore the vast open world, build your base of operations, advance technology, train mecha animals, and take on formidable bosses. Starting from the primitive age, forge a new path of development, defy the mechanization, survive with mecha animals. That text has now been replaced with something more generic and survival focused, avoiding direct references to colossal machines or mecha animals. Make smart use of everything around you to stay alive and face off against formidable bosses. Every step is fraught with danger and requires courage. Only by overcoming the challenge of survival can you carve out a place for yourself in the unforgiving land. Several images that previously showcase sweeping landscapes, robotic creatures, and environments reminiscent of Horizon have been removed. The updated set features more general open-world survival imagery that doesn't lean as heavily into the sci-fi tribal tech aesthetics. Check out the old and new images below. The main promotional image has also been swiped. The old version prominently featured the red-haired protagonist, whose appearance drew comparison to Horizon's Alloy. The new artwork instead spotlights two in-game characters, a penguin-like animal and a dog-like companion, shifting focus away from the human character entirely. So after these changes, Tencent is arguing that Sony seeks an impersonable monopoly. Let's read the article from The Gamer. Sony seeks an impersonable monopoly. Tencent goes on the offensive in the Horizon Zero Dawn clone lawsuit. In response to the allegations of ripping off Horizon Zero Dawn, Tencent has accused Sony of trying to monopolize pop culture as a Sony exclusive. As reported by the Game Post, a lengthy argument by the Chinese company has suggested that Sony isn't trying to stop copyright infringement, but is trying to block the creativity of other creators. Plaintiff Sony has sued a great bag of Tencent companies and 10 unnamed defendants about the unreleased video game Light of Motiram, allegedly that the game copies elements from Sony's game Horizon Zero Dawn and its spin-offs, says Tencent. At bottom, Sony's effort is not aimed at fighting off piracy, plagiarism, or any genuine threat to intellectual property. It is an improper attempt to fence off a well-trodden corner of popular culture and declare it Sony exclusive domain. It also went as far as saying that while Sony has accused Light of Motiram of copying Horizon, the game itself isn't as original as it claims. The game's core plot of a red-haired woman traveling across a post-apocalyptic world filled with machine-like beasts was already executed by 2013's enslaved Odyssey to the West. Gorillaz itself admitted to this in a behind-the-scenes documentary. It finally concluded that Light of Motiram isn't scheduled to launch till 2027, so Sony's lawsuit is based on assumptions before the final product is even ready. Tencent seems to have a good argument on Sony. It's trying to monopolize the genre, since Horizon Zero Dawn got its idea from Enslaved and modified it to fit its storyline. Maybe that's why Tencent made changes to its descriptions and that to try work around the lawsuit. Also, the most interesting part is that Light of Motiram is still not a finished product, and Sony jumped the gun. I think if Sony should have waited for the game to be released, then sue Tencent, it could have had a bigger chance of winning. But who knows? The changes to Light of Motiram might be enough to win or lose the case. What do you think? Does Tencent have a chance to win with the argument? Let me know in the comment section. Smash that like button, subscribe, peace.